What's up everybody, Josh Lenhardt here. Welcome back for another video. Today we are going to be talking about renting versus owning. Now, owning a home may seem impossible to some of you, or perhaps you're just waiting for the right time to do it. Well, there's some things in the market that we don't have control over, but many factors that we do. Today I'm here to offer you a little bit of education and maybe a slightly different perspective on the difference between the two. So just a quick disclaimer before we get started, I'm going to be using a lot of hypotheticals and averages today. Whether it's the cost of a 3-bedroom rental in my area, or the purchase price for the home that I'm using, the property taxes, the homeowner's insurance, the mortgage insurance, even the interest rate that I'm using. All of these are going to be used to help illustrate the difference between the two. If you want to run specific scenarios or you have specific questions, please feel free to come and talk to me. So the first thing I want to do is kind of quickly set up the parameters. The average cost of a 3-bedroom rental in my area is $1,510 a month. And the purchase price that I'm going to be using for a home is a $225,000 home with 5% down payment, makes the loan amount $213,750. So I'm going to be using 5% as an example for an interest rate. Again, depending on what program you use, there's a lot of hypotheticals there. So if you want to know what your interest rate might look like, come and talk to me. I'm using $275 a month in property taxes, $53 a month in homeowner's insurance, and $110 a month in mortgage insurance. So again, the taxes may vary depending on what area you're in. The mortgage insurance, certain programs we have don't carry mortgage insurance. These are all averages that I want to be using to help illustrate the point. So using that example, I want to look at a 3-year versus a 10-year projection on the difference between the two. Now, starting with the 3-year rental option, the first thing that I want to point out is that the average rent in a 3-bedroom house in my area has gone up 9.4% over the last 3 years. Now, the reason that that's important is because I'm going to be using a low estimate of the $1,510 a month moving forward, even though more than likely your rent would increase over that 3 or 10-year period. So using the example of $1,510 a month over 3 years, you would have spent $54,000 in rent in that period of time with absolutely nothing financially to show for it. Sure, you didn't have to worry about maintenance stuff when it comes up, you didn't have to fix the plumbing when it was broken, but financially, you are no better off than when you first started going there. You may get your cleaning deposit back, that's probably about it. Now let's look at the purchase example over a 3-year period of time. Now again, you're paying $1,585 a month in the example that I'm using, which keep in mind, when you buy a house, if you get a fixed rate, your monthly mortgage payment is not going to change as long as you're in that financing for the home. So unless you were to move or refinance, you are going to have the same monthly mortgage payment with a little bit of difference if taxes or homeowner's insurance change. But your principal and interest that you're paying on the house on a fixed interest rate remains the same. But the first thing that I want to point out is that homes over the last 3 years in my area have gone up in value 25%. That means the home that you bought for $225,000 3 years ago is valued at approximately $281,000 now. So again, $1,585 a month times 3 years is just over $57,000 in a mortgage payment. But over that time, you've been paying down the principal on your loan. So after 3 years, you have $9,954 of equity that you've built into the house. On top of that, you also have the $56,000 of appreciation since your home value has gone up 25% over 3 years. So taking the $9,954 of equity that you've built, plus the $56,000 of appreciation, you now have just under $66,000 of equity built up into your home after just 3 short years. That is amazing. Now let's look at the 10-year example. Again, going back to $1,510 a month in rent times 10 years means that you have spent $181,000 in rent over 10 years, with again, almost nothing financially to show for it when you're done. Now, using the 10-year example of purchasing a home, the reason I wanted to give a bigger example is because in 2008, we experienced the crash. So there are peaks and valleys that we go through in mortgages. Home values can decrease and increase, so I wanted to use a wider average so I could show you. So despite going through the crash and home values dropping in 2008, over 10 years, homes have still gone up 28% in value. So that means your $225,000 home is now valued closer to $288,000. So $1,585 a month times 10 years is $190,000 that you've paid in a monthly mortgage. But remember, you've been paying into the principal of your house. So in that time period, you have gained over $39,000 of equity in your house over that 10 years. So using that $39,000 of equity plus the $63,000 appreciation, you now have over $100,000 of equity that is built into your home. $100,000. Now, I know that's not the exact same thing as money in your pocket, but that's an investment. That's going towards your retirement. That is one step closer towards a significant amount of financial security that you wouldn't have if you were renting that whole time. Now, the reason that I'm mentioning all of this is because people look at buying a house the same way they look at having kids. They're waiting for that perfect time or that perfect moment. Stop waiting for that perfect time to come up. Maybe you're trying to save up for a down payment. Come and talk to me about some of the 0% down options that we have. Maybe in 3 years you know that you're waiting for a job to open up where you're gonna feel more financially stable. Why not look into a starter home that has a lower monthly payment? Start building equity now, so then 3 years from now you can turn that home into an investment property, or you can sell the house and use that towards a down payment towards your bigger forever home. Whatever your scenario is, this is about investing in your financial future. So thank you so much for watching today. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure and leave them below. I will make sure and get back to you right away. I hope I was able to shed a little bit of light on renting versus owning and why it might be a good idea to start looking into that now. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a wonderful day.